Welcome to the very first episode of LM Swats with Lifa and Manga. I am Lifa and this is the M.
This is Manga Business and did Lifa. Thank you very much.
Sure, sorry. We've got a jam-packed show for you, Namhlaje. But you know what? We'll look at the Super Rugby. We'll look at the Cricket World Cup. In Proteas, not the World Cup. That was to be for Proteas. Is it chokers? Yet again, and obviously we'll look at but the AFCON Bafana and their chances in terms of the AFCON man. Manga, there's a lot that we'll look at today.
Yeah, and of course, so Bafana Lifa say abantu abaninzi bethembile uba obviously sayibetha eNamibia, and we did, even though asingayibethanga ngescore abantu bebecinga uba sizayibetha ngalo. 1-0 was the final score Lifa between Namibia and uMzantsi Africa. Bese expect at least 3-0 so that ba asinike ichance kadlala neMorocco singabika under pressure.
We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But again, let's look at some Super Rugby. South African teams did not do so well this season with Super Rugby. Last season we had the Lions going all the way to the final. You know, the season before that, Lions again went all the way to the final. They lost their coach Lonyago Yon Ackerman. He made big blow layer Kubo. But in last four this season, we think Iyakwara is doing so well, and we've got obviously results now. They got into the final, Mama.
Well, if I say abantu abaninzi bayabuza ba why ke iSpringbok singenzi kakuhle kwimatches zayo. Well, siyabona Lifa uba iSpringbok ifeeder yaso, which is iteam ezilapha kwiSuper Rugby, iSharks, iBlue Bulls, iStormers asiqhubi kakuhle. Well, asinasibona iSpringboks ziqhuba kakuhle. So I'm so very excited for Iyakwara's Lifa team from Argentina is doing very well. Sizibonile ke iPumas kwazona indlela ezibethe ngayo eMzantsi Africa. Abantu bebuza ukuba ungani iPumas zibetha iSpringbok all of a sudden. But siyabona apha kwiSuper Rugby indlela.
Let's look at some stats. Super Rugby Baga. Which team scored the most tries? Which players scored the most tries? And obviously, which players scored the most points? In terms of tries, the Crusaders, number one overall lock. They're leading with 78 tries for the season in just 16 games.
Well, if I say Crusaders, even though this is in Pele Super Rugby, zazingilile final. And ziyaxela ba zilala okwe ekalikeni banabadlali aba-fresh banabadlali i-crop zabo ezi-spot on, so bane-fly half ezi-spot on, so balala okwe ekalikeni. Kuyabonakala uba noko phaya eNew Zealand bayininzi into bayenzayo, especially Lifasi bayi-first team which is bawine i-conference yabo last season, with the conference this season as well. So now they are on the verge of going to the finals again.
And obviously Ikalalazo Crusaders, they are the team that has won the most Super Rugby titles. Up in South Africa, we only have the Bulls to have done that. So I think Crusaders they just continue to show their dominance in terms of the Super Rugby. And I think this is our Sugalendi pressure off game All Blacks when we get into the Rugby Championship, and obviously when we get into in the Beshabati at September. So this thing of New Zealand teams and the Super Rugby, and obviously New Zealand teams and the Rugby Championship. Banga ithanda usibetha thina sekumZouth Africa, we siyasilela in a way amaqala athu eMzantsi Africa.
Indeed, look in New Zealand now, banamaqala amabini, two teams eziya kwi-semi final. Obviously one of those teams zizaya kwi-final. So we know kuyaxela nto leba sizoba ne-New Zealand team ekwi-final. So come the championship, sobona ke fanele i-All Blacks zenza the wonders ezisoloko zisenza kakade.
Okay, you know, some teams, other teams as part kwi-semi-finals, Super obviously promise besesishilo kuntoba today they've been knocked out by the Jaguars, but they come second in terms of tries. Scott with 71 tries. Obviously Jaguars gets ku 67. Before this game Jaguars no go besleli ku 62, so they scored 5 tries today against Lazo Promise. So it's a good thing.
But I'm so disappointed uba ndibona iPromise score only 1 try Lifas. And of course badlala i-semi-final. Mhlawumbe in the fact that bedlalela Argentina and amaxesha Argentina kafani namaxesha se-Australia. Mhlawumbe yenye effect uba babethe up.
Okay, you know what, let's look at some tries. Players now with the most tries, again leading the line, the Crusaders. Akom to Mhlawumbe uyotuka yelotole Severis. He's got 13 tries up to this far. Asazi ke Mhlawumbe noba he will try obviously kumdlalo abadlala Hurricanes eWellington. So it's just yet another player from the Crusaders doing well in terms of the tries, leading the line, 13 tries.
And the Lifa to finish up, the basi zawubona score more tries even kwi-final ngoba obviously indlela yabo iya kwi-final ngoba dlala ke ne-team epha kwi-New Zealand ikwi-conference yabo bayayazi Hurricanes bayibethe many times, and of course nakule season i-Super Rugby bayibethile, so bazoyiphinda again baye kwi-final.
Man, you know what? The Super Rugby is so exciting. Let's look at now the player with the most points overall now in terms of Super Rugby. See, we're including tries, we're including obviously conversions, and obviously including penalties. 100 Polar Duo Bulls comes up as a surprise. 194 points. I contributing in terms of the Bulls this season. It's a surprise, Magabaga, to see 100 Polar Duo. Sibe Profi as by Beke and Zagala. That's 1-2. The Bulls Zichigo quarterfinals.
Well, yenza umsebenzi lula kumqeqeshi ke weProteas we Springbok Lifas ngoba now xa izayithatha izomthatha ahead of Elton Jantjies ababini ifly half ezinzima apha eMzantsi Africa.
Okay, you know what? That's as far as Super Rugby is concerned. You can get Sifuni Take Yako Pakuye social media platforms, on all our social media platforms. It is at LM Sports.
Ngalibali lefase bakhomente noba bathele kakuhle bathele kamanje sifuna nje ukuva honest truth yabo.
Obviously, I'm very much interested. Bazotela besithinda obviously ke teams zalapha eMzantsi Africa, obviously looking at these Thomas zalapha eKapa and their awful Super Rugby season. Okay, now let's look at the ICC Cricket World Cup. South Africa's performance, ICC World Cup. We've been seen as the chokers all along, South Africa. You know, starting from then on until 2019 Cricket World Cup. Abandabanidzi expected South Africa not to do well in this World Cup. Besibono is the underdogs, and with our performance, Sizbonakali Selebanyan, this is the underdogs this year. We've had performances in Bondoba. They're embarrassing to watch, especially a South African team that prides itself, especially in terms of cricket. But Izolo, there was some positive to take out of Izolo. They won the game against Sri Lanka. They elected to bowl first after winning the toss. Sri Lanka making 203, and obviously Proteas making 206, only for one. So that means there was only one wicket that fell. Ukwedi Dikok. Positive to take out of his own.
Yeah, Lifasi, let it take dignity. You know, Izolo besidlalela lesithatha i-badge ubona abantu xa kuthiwa abantu badlalela i-badge that's lento besidlala, and then ke into endiboneleyo besingekho under pressure Lifasi, and badlale bekhululekile ngoba bayazi uba sibethiwe okanye siwine Lifasi akho nto ayiwisi mntana bedini akho nto sayenza kaloo nto leyo. So I remember i-conversation yakho Lifasi noMakhayantini earlier on before iqale World Cup. Wawutshilo usithi okay, now siyapha sizi-underdogs as compared nexesha eligqithileyo apho sasiya kwi-World Cup siqonda uba ke sizi-favorites uba siyayibawina. So bendibafana Lifasi sawusebenzisa elaa thuba loba sizi-underdogs. Yeah, and then I'm so disappointed indlela i-Proteas iqhube ngayo kule World Cup.
Okay, you know, let's look at some stats. Zaizolo, Proteas doing so well in terms of their betting. Let's look at our betting first. But the 175 run partnership between Hashim Amla no Francois du Plessis. Francois du Plessis 96 not out of only 103 balls, or 4 by 10 and only 1 6. And Hashim Amla doing 8 of 105 balls, or 4 by 5 and the Kakanga bet 6 Hashim Amla. But the partnership was a key thing for South Africa in terms of winning this game.
No, the question is, where was this partnership? Ngoba you know sakhupha uHashim Amla umtshebe besimthembe great umuntu womZantsi Africa, even though Lifasi going to the World Cup ebengadlali kakuhle even kwi-domestic cricket, but besiniyazi uba indoda ene-experience njengotshebe because he's a former captain. Uyayazi uba xa sikuqindezelele kufuneka sizikhuphe kanjani. It was very disappointing. Now ucaptain esinayo currently uFaf du Plessis naye Lifasi as a third captain. Yabona indoda yesithathu eqhoqeni besinethemba naye uzokwenza wonders kule World Cup. Naye usidisappointed. Now all of a sudden Lifasi boom. Now the partnership
which goes to show South Africa don't do well under pressure, because now we know that we're out of the World Cup, we're playing with no pressure and stuff like that, and we win the game. Win it convincingly, we'll bowl them out. Let's look at our bowling now. Is that Zetu? We'll start with KG Khabata. 10 overs, made this Mbidi, better 36 runs and took 2 wickets. The first ball of the innings was a wicket by KG Khabata. Good performance for him.
Very good performance. Lifasi uKhabata ke indoda lokho esithembu leba noko ayikwazi Lifasi inikwa i-overs nidivisi bentathu ingabuyini endoda eyi-1 at least iyayazi nto leyo. So akadisappoint yena. In fact Lifasi kule World Cup I think i-bowlers zethu they didn't do so bad.
Okay.
Yes, even though Lifasi besingakwazi ke ukukhupha abantu but abaqhoqi Lifasi basilethe down ngendlela kumangaliso, and I'm so very disappointed. You know at some point besike sithembele na uQuinton de Kock. uQuinton is a wicket keeper, but siyayazi ba besincede eqhoqeni. So kwayena kenza kahle as much besimfuna Agent Makram Lifasi, a young guy upcoming, and we test like nomsindo uzokwenza well, but well abasibonisanga loo nto le World Cup.
Okay, you know what? Let's continue with looking at Ipoli Games South Africa. Izolo, umfana Chris Morris taking 3 wickets and 9.3 overs, a better 46 runs. I think he's been consistent, Morris, every time he's played in terms of Let's look at Dwayne Pistorius now. Given a chance, Izolo, 2 maidens, 10 overs, a better only 25 runs. A tato tinda batatu. What a performance by Pistorius.
Beautiful performance. I think into uba unganibuza kuba sizakwenza ntoni emveni koko. I think into is not built up going forward. And another thing, look at the indlela esiqhube ngayo nje kule World Cup. Imidlalo esibhozo Lifas siwine imidlalo emibini isabethwa kwimidlalo emihlanu. Sancedwa imvula kumdlalo oyi-1 kuze siwudrowishe. Who knows? West Indies ngeyisibethile ngendlela sesiperforma ngayo. Well, I'm hoping Lifas, I'm hoping that xa sibuyela apha ekhaya sizabuya si-restructure, si-regroup. You know, if it was a football, benzothi masibuyele ku-drawing board.
Okay. Speaking about the drawing board, let's look at South Africa now, post-World Cup. Do you think that we need reshuffling in terms of our squad? Do you think that club players as Fana Hashim Amla says in Dalang, obviously, JP Dumine Beana, but this will be his last 50 over tournament for South Africa. Do you think that we need to go back, sit back, we can go and take players from domestic cricket, Sibafak, and go Proteas?
No, the first thing of Nasianzile, masiqale sisuse yonke la technical team zonke abacoach siqale ngo-Otos Gibson simbeke ecaleni uzobonga abacoach abacoacha i-belters out, abacoacha i-bowlers out. Si-refresh nje la technical team siza nabantu abatsha abafresh, and we've got ex-players like Gibbs abantu benosinceda leyo xa sifuna ucoach losicoach aqhoqeni abantu yonke beqhoqa yiyeke nje uGibbs into bebezenza ke Lifasi xa bengekho team mhlawumbi sawuthi into enziwa njengabantwana bonke.
Okay, there was there was a bit of a controversy on AB de Villiers because apparently he availed himself ngale mini kanye kupika ngayisquad, so but you know what, I think I want to play the World Cup. AB de Villiers retired last year May. He was like, you know what, dibeka down South Africa in all 3 formats, test, T20 and obviously World Cup. Abantu abaninzi bakhala, can you please retire after the World Cup? He did so well in terms of IPL. De Villiers, who know AB de Villiers has been our best player for the past 10 years now, was available ngale mini yokugqibela, and the captain and the coach decided abamfuna de Villiers will take the squad to obviously the Behlabathi, and abantu abaninzi ngokubathi ngena nimthathele de Villiers.
Lifas awusawuzusiteste kanjalo kaloku ngoba ude Villiers benexesha elininzi lokuthi and u5 du Plessis no de Villiers bazishomi, so into bemeli bayithethe kudala le yoba mnganam ndiyafuna manje uyi-reverse la decision yami yoba ndibeke phansi intambo, so ngeyithethe kwaqala nto leyo. Sawuze Lifas mina undifonele namhlanje bendihamba ngomso ndicela uba ndiyafuna uhamba nawe ndiyakushiya nam. Nice
so basically you've not prepared enough for me there. Okay, looking at South Africa, their next South African game will be against Australia as of Old Trafford, Manchester. South Africa on the 6th of July, which is next weekend, Saturday. Another dead rubber from South Africa, but the Aussies, they're the defending champions, obviously. In terms of the lock, it's going to be a big game for South Africa. What would it mean for South Africa to win this game? I know about Abazuya now for winning this game, but betting the top of the table side and obviously beating the world champions, current world champions, I don't know if we could win this game.
Lifas xa ingekho siwitshintsha mntanam mayenze the same thing ebeyenzile ele game esinjana eSri Lanka, bawin igame at least Lifas sikwazi le Protea elagqabi Lifas lithetha elikhulu kuthi abadlala ligqabi.
Okay, we'll still have to get obviously your take on social media on the Proteas and obviously indlela abadlala ngayo kwindebe yehlabathi. It is at LM Sports on Facebook, on Twitter and on Instagram. Let's take a look at some football, Magabaga. Let's take a look at the FIFA Women's World Cup. But, you know, Banyana did not do so well. You know, played 3 games.
As expected.
As expected, but I think big score lines in a way. They did so well against Spain in the first game. Against China, it was just unfortunate for Banyana. And obviously, I think against Germany, we knew. Against the second rated team, Eslabatini were going to get hammering by Germany, but they did well when they came back. Tambo Airport, it was such a nice welcome back for Banyana. So you know what. Moving right along from Banyana, getting into obviously the quarterfinals of the FIFA Women's World Cup. England doing so well, man, against Italy and Norway. Well,
before you move along, Lifas, let's go back a little bit. You know, we came here Lifas. This is not expecting about winning, obviously, in Spain. But then the first half of it, Lifas, going 1-0 up with first half, Lifas, you were expecting by wow. Look at Thembi Kgatlana, beautiful goal, nice solo. So we're expecting, okay, if we can do that in the first half, it might be different. So, well, Lifas, it was just unfortunately 2 VAR against Banyana.
Penalties.
So, well, Saluza Lifas, we're hoping, okay, fine, we lost. And VAR And of course, maybe normal football, they see that in South Africa, we have talking something else. But let's move along, Lifas.
So basically, what you are saying is that Tangu VAR is not normal football; it's technological. Eh?
VAR mustn't come here, please.
We're making up VAR must not come here. Yeah, man. FIFA Women's World Cup, England doing so well. The day before yesterday, we'll see there. But better Norway by 3-0 in the quarterfinals. Another nice win for Ika Phil Neville.
Well, in a way, Lifas, idlale ngayo kule World Cup bendiqonda mhlawumbe izawuba zezinye ze-teams ezizohamba all the ways here ku-final. Look at indlela bedlale ngayo nebanyana kula practice match basibetha Lifa 7-2.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so liqela iNorway noko ubone kwayinzwakazi, Lifa inzwakazi ze-Norway zithe nqothu. In fact, zonke inzwakazi beziphale World Cup Lifa, you check at USA, you check at Germany, zithe nqothu, and lizabe kuthi South Africa thina.
Oh, okay,
yeah, no. Okay. So, yeah, it was a disappointing loss to England. Bazabanika a good run for their money, and of course, they expected by bet England. Unfortunately, but losing.
You know what? The quarterfinals, the game of the round was between the host France and obviously USA. USA being the defending champions, being the number one in the world in terms of ratings, doing so well. USA beating France by 2-1. What a game it was, though, between the two sides.
Well, if France maybe host the first, and then of course, Babanal Twaga in Dota, Yeshumi Lesbini, a 12th man. So we were expecting that they can do better, but not we USA. Look at it, you remember the score?
Yeah. Yes. But US, I think
13 goals. Yeah.
I think to be quite honest, USA are still the favourites to win. Obviously, the World Cup. I think in terms of structure, in terms of women's football, I think they pride themselves in women's football. And when it goes to obviously the national side of women's football, this is a team. This is a team that was well trained from the structures, which is from grassroots level up until national team level. I'm still tipping them as the favourites to win the World Cup this year, especially given the fact that they beat the host. The semi-final will be between England and USA. I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but I think USA are going to take it.
Levas, USA, they must not just meet Germany anytime soon. Maybe get meet to the final. That will be a final of the year. Yeah. Beautiful Germany, but so we group A too. We see what they did to us as expected. That's better. So I'm tipping the Germany by the final and the USA, and of course we will see the best final ever.
Okay, speaking of Germany, they will play uppercase Sweden. Obviously, some of the fixtures. Another one, Italy and the Netherlands. Two big games in terms of the quarterfinals. And obviously, between these four teams, as will meet each other, and then we'll see the is it going to be USA, Germany, good final, but I would love to see USA, Germany, which is number 1 and number 2, then see the winner.
Thank you very much, Livas. Moving on, women's football, and of course, Livas, African Cup of Nations.
Yes, man.
Wow. Firstly, let's see
okay, let's look at what the papers are saying. Daily Sun, Israel, talking of obviously Bafana, this is a must win for Bafana. Now this was a game obviously, but that Bafana were playing against Namibia, Israel, and obviously Bafana needed to win this one. I thought it would score more goals, as you said earlier on. A 3-0 win would have worked for us. A 2-0 win would have worked for us, but it was just
a win. A win is a win. We will never know about the match where Ivory Coast as well as the Namibia, yeah. And of course, we never know about Morocco. Now you're getting Bafana. And of course, that's strong. Isolezo, let's close. Felicity, Ubexta, Uti, Funesi, Pumele, Yonke, Imidalo, Ezai. That's what we must do.
I think that's another interesting one. I watched Cote d'Ivoire up against Morocco. What a game it was between the two sides. I think Morocco were playing at a high level than Cote d'Ivoire. Obviously, Morocco ended up winning the game. Now, Cote d'Ivoire is a must-win for them up against Namibia the last game. But South Africa against Morocco yet again. In Morocco, against Cote d'Ivoire.
And of course, that's John Elifas, Sogala Duma, Dan Femen, we must play with more freedom. And of course, if freedom, let's see if and that's very fast about the selection. Come to the selecting a apparently a players as Quasi Balega, as the pace, as Jim, and Bafana Tulan Serrero, as Jenga Bafana, Tim Gosiloche, and of course about Bakala Tim Gosiloche.
I think the manager will always be the manager. When you coach or coach in terms of football, Tina, we can sit here and talk about that. But if he sees that he thinks that the best possible starting lineup would be, but obviously excluding Utulan Serero and obviously excluding Umdlalo Fana, the South African Player of the Year and Players Player of the Year, Uthembi Kusilotch. In the game, is one of there was some changes in terms of the squad. We saw a change goalkeeper. Goalkeeper who did so well with Williams in the first game. You know what? There was a change in terms of the midfield. We saw Uzungu coming in. We saw the Sundowns captain Uhlompo Kekana coming in. It worked for us because we won the game. But going into the next game now for Bafana Bafana, are we expecting changes like this again? Now, is there consistency? It changes as Ngaga. And the next game will be the biggest one because we're playing against, obviously, Morocco, who are top of the table.
I remember the first but I think because we need Uthulani Serero Lifas, we need Abadala Njengo because Pesita we know but he's a tricky player. That's why even though look at the game against Namibia, almost but
I think the last
man of the match, we have man of the match go sneaky.
I was shocked when I saw Percy winning the man of the match. Obviously, I don't think there was any player that stood out Izolo from both sides in Namibia and obviously South Africa. But you know what, they chose to give man of the match to Pistol. They chose it. South Africa when they play, you see a lot of playing between the pockets on South Africa. You see a lot of 1-2s. You see a lot of bowlers, especially with the Sundowns guys, with the likes of Vilagazi, the likes of Ozwane, obviously former Sundowns man Otau. Do you think that works for strikers for Motiva who's big and strong, who need crosses coming in because as cross for our strikers?
No the first. Cross has try with football yetu. La bola yakudala oba beku number 11 or number 7. It does not work. The first. Right the policy dalayo coming through from the middle. Okay, I see the V shape and then V shape ko master Kaizer Chiefs, master V shape and then seven South Africa as players as sneaky.
Yeah.
Stress players as sneaky. Jengo Tulan Serero. Yeah, we need that V shape and I think Stuart Baxter and Morocco.
You know, it's going to be a big game for South Africa, Morocco, and obviously, you know what, South Africa have to win that game in order to stand any chance of qualifying because we've seen teams winning games, the likes of Madagascar, because who are third placed and obviously best third placed teams, will go through to the next round. But we can't depend on only this win against in Namibia to say, you know what, I think we'll stand a chance. I think against Morocco, we have to go all out and try and win the game. What happens. But do you think that South Africa stand a chance against Morocco, and especially with how Morocco played Izolo up against Cote d'Ivoire?
The first, we could have beaten Cote d'Ivoire Tina Kala and 2-0. So today South Africa ubanazo players ubanazo squad we can beat Morocco xasifuna if coach angakwazi nje selection yakhe ayenze nje kakuhle nje ngendlela Lifa ezokubangela ba players kwazi ujela kakuhle zikwazi exchange kakuhle passes nice 1-2s. That's beautiful. Singayibetha Morocco ngendlela simple and clean, and then of course ingase siyeke man lanto man Lifa siyofuna ubali maths and all that stuff kuze thina siphumelele flash talk who's playing who make sisenzele umsebenzi wethu ngokwethu so win the game yethu and then we are safe upstairs.
Okay, let's look at the group of South Africa right now. Morocco obviously top of the table, having played 2 games and won 2. Equal difference because it's only +2. They won 1-0 against Namibia and they won obviously by the same score against Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire now they've played 2-1-1 and equal difference yabo South Africa, but because they've got a win over South Africa, that's why they're in South Africa now. They've got 3 points. Namibia obviously -2 and Abana points. I don't think Namibia will get any points to be quite honest.
well
group here because they're going to play against Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire will want to win the game. It would be nice if Singapore gets 6 points. We'll know South Africa qualify for obviously the next round. But in terms of the group, it's tough to see.
Well, just to finish up first, I would love to see Namibia beating Cote d'Ivoire. That's what I would love.
Okay. You know what, man? Dream on to see Namibia beating obviously Cote d'Ivoire, but we'll see. Obviously in the next round of fixtures, group of South Africa. Right now, though, we'll look at some PSL transfers because obviously it's preseason. You're roping in players, the likes of or Bibo. You know what? Abana team right now. But let's get into that manga.
Well, team is busy. With transfer window is Orlando Pirates. So far, ikhuphe ishumi lesibili 12 players release Orlando Pirates.
Okay.
Yes, and of course abanye abantu bayithandela kakhulu ke ukuphuma kaThamsanqa Gabuza after ixesha elide ehleli kwi Orlando Pirates. Lifa udlale Wow, 95 games in total. Got on 11 goals.
As a striker, bro.
As a striker. So, another players, Lifa is not one of the players, cool player, Umahashi, Kudu Mahashi. We know him. He came here for Mamelodi Sundowns. He played for Golden Arrows. Yes. One of the Paris now. We are Puma. Kabuza. Super Sport United. And of course,
Speaking of Mahachi, do you think he was given enough chance to cooperate? Do you think he was given a fair chance? You know, they signed him thinking that he'll gel with the team, but you know what, this is not a player for us.
Well, same thing. He the Sundowns. He was never given a fair chance. We call it arrows. He played beautiful football. So I think Mahashi is more of a player comfortable corner with teams as less pressure as Paris in the Sundowns. So if he didn't make it to Sundowns, he didn't make it to Paris, but he made it to Golden Arrows.
So he can make it to Super United.
Exactly, that's what I'm going to say.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know about Kabuza and Super United, but that means it's something that I see Kabuza, because they don't like Kabuza. They always obviously criticizing him, but you see him being given a chance by big teams, being given a chance obviously even by the national team under Shakes. We saw Kabuza playing for the national team, so that means there's something that we had Super United roped him in. Let's look at some other players as Teza Puma again.
Well, as Teza Puma, Lifa, Colonel Parades, Clayton Switolo, we didn't see much of him. Petso Mapaga. Diamond Topola, we didn't see much of him. Sia Marcelo, we didn't see much of him. Tabo Kaling, that one is very surprised because he's a fan's favorite player. I didn't see him going. And of course, Tabo Matlaba and Tabo Kaling, those two Tabos, fans on the parades, they're still crying.
Tabo squared, right? Okay. You know, with Tabo Kaling, I think he was always a bit of a shoe-shine player, Tabo Kaling parades. He's a good player, but I don't think he's a player for the big teams that play quick football. I think on the parades, with how they played last season, they're playing so well. They played quick football. So he will slow the game down because of obviously his skills. Fans love him because obviously he's showboating Yake, but I don't think he's a player for Ipade. So I think it's a good thing that they let him go.
Well, and of course, if I can just mention one, Abu Bakar Mubara, and a utility player first. You can play in the midfield, you can play him at the back. So Arnold Paris release after a couple of seasons in Nepal. He's coming back to Cape Town.
You know what? Welcome back home, sweet home, Sani. I think he's going to do well for Cape Town City. As you said, he's a utility player. He's a very versatile player. Abubakar Mupara. He can play right back, he can play centre back, he can play midfield. I think he's going to aid Cape Town City well, and obviously he's going to aid Upeni well as well, man. I think it's a good signing, obviously, for Cape Town City.
Well, staying to Beni, and of course, Bachabanyan, they are trying to build a mini AX Cape Town there, Babuisa Umupara, and of course, they've got no deal. Of which recently we signed out Travis Graham, remember, and now they've just announced by signing Takis Morris.
These are Cape Townians, man. I think they're more comfortable playing at home, and obviously they are players with PSL experience. So you see why Cape Town City are signing them. And in Mhlambe, Abazoba costed that much in terms of so it might be good for Cape Town City bringing in these players, especially given the fact that these are players Engazofuneka Sam is no Kelana Nemeko Nembilo yes Cape Town. Let's just take a look at some Geoffrey players as Pumblendes Gelebdaram. Then obviously we'll move on.
And of course, let's look at a team at Tandobashai, Wimageti, Kaizer Chiefs, only two so far confirmed. And Lazarus Kambole from Zesco United in Zambia, and of course the next one with James Kotei, he's from Ghana, and of course he was playing in Tanzania with Simba. You know what?
Good for Chiefs to sign players. I think they've got a squad, Chiefs, that's got players as why, but they've not gelled together now as a team. Got Chiefs. Umanyama is a super good player. We know that. Did so at Cape Town City. Went overseas, came back, was not the same man. Shambi injuries can play their part. So these two new signings for the Chiefs. It's a good thing, man, that they've signed players, because they've always complained about the Chiefs. Obviously, the fingers are always pointed at the team manager. I wouldn't have signed, but it's a good thing that they've signed players. We'll see how they do, because we know less about them. Obviously, one of these players again, Lobeke Waheta, Kaizer Chiefs. We have Confed Cup. Sometimes they saw him there, but no. You know what, man? If we can't beat you, join us. So it's a good thing for Kaizer Chiefs that obviously they're bringing in some signings.
Okay. For more news, we transfer window. You check our social media, Lifa and Manga on Spot. We could Twitter Lifas as well as Facebook.
Yes, man. Thank you so much for watching. We've come to the end of our first ever episode of LM Sports. Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. It is at LM Sports.
And this little bonge social network, LM Sport, or at LM Sports.
LM Sports.
We have it all.
Gracias.
Ziphuma yonke khona